As a non-commercial educational radio station, KZSC supports the free expression of ideas. Please be aware that the opinions expressed are those of the speakers or artists only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the UC Regents, KZSC staff, management, or underwriters. We welcome your feedback on our programming. Please direct your comments to the Program Review Committee at 831-459-4726 or by email at prc@kzsc.org. Welcome to the CUIP Alumni Podcast as part of the Banana Breath Podcast Coalition. Today, we welcome you to a special conversation with Alison Trybom Lucas, the UC Santa Cruz Arts Division Chief of Staff. We talk about her own college experience as one of the first cohort of the Chancellor's Undergraduate Internship Program, CUIP, practical advice for students transitioning to the work world, and exciting programs that the Arts Division is hosting for UCSC students to network, learn, and develop themselves professionally. I am Jason Lee, the current CUIP coordinator and your host. Hi Allison, give us a brief introduction about yourself, like what year you were part of CUIP and what position you were in.
I was a CUIP intern in the early years of the program. It was 1997, and I believe the program began in 1994. I was chosen to work on the academic plan for the campus natural reserve system, and my mentor was Professor Maggie Fusari.
What made you want to attend UC Santa Cruz, and more specifically join CUIP?
My affiliation with Santa Cruz started actually generations ago. I am a Santa Cruz native, as was my mother, and my grandfather moved here when he was a child. So my family has been here for many generations. I actually started my college experience at Fresno State, where I chose to go because I was ready to get out of Santa Cruz for a little bit of time. And I also had a number of friends who were attending that university. But I decided that I wanted to finish my undergraduate studies at a UC. And UCSC had and still has a fabulous environmental studies program with incredible faculty. And as Santa Cruz is my hometown, it was a perfect fit. So I was delighted to be accepted to UCSC and was really happy when I learned about the CUIP program. My best friend, who I grew up with and who was also attending UCSC, called me up and said, "Hey, I just heard about this great program and they'll pay for a year of our school." And I was shocked and my parents were delighted. And so I applied to the program. I was really excited to see there was a project that had some of my same interests of biology, conservation, natural reserves are something that I feel strongly about. So it worked out really, really well.
What was the most formative aspects of your college experience that helped you get into the workplace and start exploring more of your passion?
By the time I finished my degree, I felt like I'd really learned how to think. UC Santa Cruz provided me the foundation to become an informed citizen, engaged in my community, and able to assess and critically analyze contemporary issues. So some of my fondest memories include reading and writing groups at the beach or in the meadow with peers who have now become lifelong friends, and being inspired to take action around causes I believe in, such as organic farming and sustainable practices. So, that idea of being an informed and critical thinker have been incredibly key in all of the positions that I've held in the professional working world.
Could you tell me a little bit more about the CUIP project you did as an intern?
So that project involved helping Professor Fusari rewrite the academic plan for the natural reserves. So it was a lot of research. I worked in a small trailer behind the communications building. And I had binders and boxes of documents, and basically spent my time researching and kind of updating information in the academic plan. So the reserve system exists on its own, but then there's also an academic plan that's linked to that. There was a lot of research, a lot of reading, a lot of writing, providing analysis, updates, that sort of thing.
What did you learn from your internship that helped you with your career?
I learned a lot about the importance of dependability and meeting deadlines. I also learned how to work independently. As I said, I was working in a small trailer behind communications, and I was mostly on my own. And while I was fine working on my own, I learned that I really do prefer to work with others, and interacting with colleagues is important for me. And that was good to learn early on. Being dependable, meeting deadlines, staying on track, keeping a project moving, especially when you're working on your own, and especially when you're working with mostly, research documents. You're looking at papers and binders full of information and reports. It can be easy to think, oh, I'll finish this up, next week or at my next work session. But, you can't do that in the work world. And you can't do that when someone else's research depends on what you're doing. So there were a lot of skills, a lot of administrative skills to learn. And it was a fantastic opportunity.
You are listening to KZSC Santa Cruz, non-commercial radio serving the Monterey Bay and beyond, 24/7, 365 days a year in good times and hard times. KZSC provides unique entertainment and trustworthy local news straight to you. Tell us why you listen to KZSC by going to kzsc.fm/record for a chance to be on air. We couldn't do this without listeners like you. Looking for a way to help your community while staying safe at home? Community Foundation Santa Cruz County created the COVID-19 Local Response Fund to bring together people and resources even when apart. The fund quickly gets donations to trusted Santa Cruz County organizations supporting workers and families most affected by the crisis. Grants for emergency assistance are being made weekly. More information on donations is available cfscc.org. That is the end of the announcements. Now let us get back to the interview. What are some ways that you know students can learn from you in terms of your career journey after college and about your work today?
Immediately after college, I was offered full-time work at the biotech company where I had been working part-time. And this was a great first step into the career world. I was promoted and gained really valuable organization and managerial skills. It was not always easy. There were times I was managing staff who were senior to me in age and experience, and that could be challenging, but it was a really fantastic training ground. A couple of years into that, I was offered an opportunity that came my way through one of those lifelong friends from college. So again, this is important, make those connections and keep them. And this was at an environmental consulting firm where this friend was working, and they had need for another environmental analyst. So I applied and got the job and was able to put my college degree into direct practice. It was fantastic. I learned so much and felt like I was truly contributing and making a difference. Then I was recruited back to that biotech company, which is another important lesson. Keep connections with your employers. Keep those references up to date, keep in touch with your references because you never know when an opportunity is going to arise. But then eventually, when that company was poised to move out of the Santa Cruz area, I knew it was time to part ways. And I saw a part-time job here at the university in the Chancellor's office. And I took the interview very seriously. I researched the position, I contacted individuals I knew in the unit, and I really practiced my interviewing skills. And I'm so grateful that I did because all of that prep work paid off. When I was hired, I learned that there had been hundreds of applicants. So this is an important lesson. Again, it's doing your homework, it's being prepared, it's taking opportunities seriously. And I've now been with the university as a staff person for over 15 years. For the past 11 years, I've been chief of staff for the arts, and I absolutely love the work that I get to do. I support our events, our communications and marketing. And over the past several years, I've helped develop our student success program, which is incredibly rewarding.
Now, just getting more to this year, I know you applied as a mentor and are currently seeking a CUIP in Arts, Marketing, and Social Media Specialist intern. So, what are some advice you have for students applying to that position?
Our goal is really to increase student participation in arts events. And we see this internship opportunity as a two-way street in terms of learning, because we have a lot to learn from the selected intern who will be a student, who will be engaged with their student community. And we want to know how we can better plug into that community. A lot of us in administration have been at our jobs for many years, have been out of college for many years. And, some of us, we started college without email. So we've come a long way, but we're not quite always up to speed on the best way to be in touch with students. Flyers work great, but, at the moment, we're all socially distant. Where would we put those real physical flyers? So how do we get onto your phone in a way that you're going to see it? Are you going to look at an email from your advisor, or are you looking at our events webpage? We don't know that many students are looking at that. So we have a lot to learn from our intern. And in return, we will provide our intern with professional development and with skills that will serve them throughout their college and professional careers.
What are some other programs in the arts division that are going on that excites you and you want to share to the public?
At the top of my list is Student Success and Arts Professional Pathways. And these are programs that I have the pleasure of being part of, and they are designed to help our students succeed throughout their career as a student and launch into the professional work world. In addition, we have absolutely incredible events and research exhibitions. And I'm really excited about our graduate programs. In particular, we're getting ready to launch a new MFA, and we have launched it actually in environmental art and social practice. Applications are still being taken. It's an absolutely fantastic degree program that joins some of the other amazing graduate programs in the arts, such as social documentation, the Digital Arts and New Media program. We have some absolutely fantastic faculty and amazing support staff. So I could not encourage our students more to consider taking a class in the arts or coming to our events and seeing how you can be involved.
What are some ways the Arts Division is creating opportunities for artist students to meet with leaders in private or nonprofit industries?
Later this month, we'll be having our second annual arts career event that's called Find Your Path, where students have an opportunity to meet with creative and arts industry professionals. We're bringing professionals from various disciplines to our departments and programs to meet directly with students about career opportunities and professional development. And that's part of a series of roundtable discussions that we're hosting in the specific disciplines. And some of our speakers include Academy Award winners, Broadway designers, museum curators, and game company CEOs. And also our Mary Porter Cessnon Gallery and our Institute of the Arts and Sciences have many internships available to our students where they have the opportunity to engage directly with research and curatorial practices and professionals. So there are a number of opportunities for students in the arts to engage with leaders in the arts and in the creative industries.
Alison, thank you for doing this interview with me. It was a pleasure talking with you.
You're welcome, Jason. It was my pleasure. Thank you so much.
As you can see here, this interview was informative for all students, staff, faculty, and community members alike. And just as Alison saw this as a good note to conclude on, we too want to leave you with this encouragement to take advantage of the numerous opportunities available to students to find internships, network with industry professionals, and keep in close contact with your cohorts because you never know when you'll need them. To learn more about CUIP regarding current positions, application deadlines, and questions, visit careers.ucsc.edu/intern/CUIP or email cuip@ucsc.edu. And with that, we would like to thank you for tuning in to our CUIP Alumni Podcast. Music by Admiral Bob, Go Tell It on the Mountain. Copyright 2017, licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution,